How much you think a difference he'll make compared to what Dan Quinn was calling on defense?
I wouldn't necessarily say how much of a difference because that they will be calling, because I mean, we are what we are. Like, we were successful in the defense we played in. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had great success and we had some downfalls in the defense. So them as coaches, I feel like, especially with the team we got, their job ain't to go and, bring a whole new XYZ or whole new system. Like, he pretty much just made it easier to the point of he's nothing less than demanding of what he wants done on the field. Like, and I feel like, I'm not saying Dan Quinn didn't do that either, because DQ, like, I love DQ. Like, we still talk to this day, man. He's one of the guys that he's a big reason why I'm here in Dallas still and why I got to Dallas. There's a certain way that you got to coach certain guys. Different guys are being able to coach a certain way. And I feel like because of how player-oriented DQ was, like, guys will relate to him and he wouldn't have to coach a certain way that, Zim does now.
Shout out to my boy Martin Talk. We're going to be having a couple of videos coming from some of the clips that he's posting from Keyshawn Johnson's podcast featuring Malik Hooker. And the first video I was about to post, I'm going to push that one back a little bit, because this clip actually just revealed something to me that I'm not sure how I feel, and I'm not really sure that any real rules are being broken, but they could be. Did Malik Hooker just expose the fact that Dan Quinn is tampering with current Cowboys players still? You see, in that clip that I just played, something stood out to me. Yes, he was talking about the differences between Dan Quinn and Mike Zimmer and all this other stuff, but Malik Hooker also exposed the fact that Dan Quinn is still talking to him to this day. What are we doing? Before I even get into the tampering part of this, because we're going to look at the NFL rules on tampering, and then I want to talk about how this could possibly actually be some tampering going on, especially depending on what happens next free agency. I'm going to be real, bro. I hope somebody in the NFL's league offices end up seeing this video based off of my clickbait title, whatever, so some type of eye can be kept on what Dan Quinn got going on, bro, because I do not like the fact that he just said that Dan Quinn is still talking to him. Dan Quinn is now the head coach of a division rival, the Washington Commanders. You should not still be in communication with this guy on a regular basis, Malik. You're a Dallas Cowboy still, bro. You're not a free agent, bro. And I get it. Relationships are formed, bonds, blah, 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 blah. Don't nobody care about all that, bro. Don't nobody want to hear about our players on our team communicating on a regular basis with coaches from Washington. This has to be the only locker room that willingly gives up that type of information and don't think anything of it as if everything is all hunky-dory and fine. That is not cool, bruh. That is not cool. If for anything else, for optics, the reason of optics, yes, y'all have personal relationships with these people. Yes, all of that is fine and dandy, bro. But this is like any other job. And honestly, we should be treating it like any other job, bro. Dan Quinn was your boss, Malik Hooker. I'm sorry, but whenever our bosses, whenever our coworkers move on to other jobs, I just don't make it a habit of trying to keep in touch with my old bosses and stuff like that. Unless I have plans on wanting to work for them again, bro. So that's why this makes me uncomfortable. Because outside of that, there's no reason, not while you're still playing, not while you're active, there is no reason you should be in communication with Dan Quinn. Now, outside of revealing that Dan Quinn may be tampering, and again, we're about to take a look at that tampering rule, but outside of that, he also talked about the fact that Mike Zimmer is essentially just instilling more discipline. He's instilling more structure on the football field. I mean, Malik Hooker literally just said Dan Quinn was more of a player's coach, so he didn't have to approach guys a certain type of way to get them to do what he wanted them to do, quote unquote. But Mike Zimmer is being more demanding. He's quiet for the most part until he's on the field, and then he's going to coach you, and he's going to coach you hard. And if you're not doing the right things, he doesn't give a damn how much he likes you or any of that. He's going to let you know you're not doing the right things. All in all, I just think that this defense is going to be better. I actually agree with Malik Hooker. I don't think the defense needs a complete overhaul. We just need to tweak a couple of things within our scheme and how we're doing things to I guess, alleviate some of the issues that this defense has faced over the last few seasons under Dan Quinn, which essentially they haven't been good against good teams and they haven't been able to stop the run. And in Green Bay, everything went wrong. So we're not even gonna get started with that. But this tampering thing though, am I tripping? Am I making more of this than what I really need to be making of it? Or does that not strike anybody else as strange? Do you think that one of our coaches on our team is keeping track or keeping in touch with a bunch of players off of his old teams and stuff still throughout the season, throughout the off season? Do y'all think that that's normal? I haven't heard of any other players like talking like this as far as them constantly keeping in touch with an old coach that literally just left their team. Like Malik Hooker is not the only guy that's talked about the fact that he's still in touch with Dan Quinn. Why is Dan Quinn talking to all of our guys still? At some point, you guys have to let him know, like, hey, man, as long as there's a conflict of interest, because this is a business first, I do not need to be in communication with y'all, because I'm going to be real. I didn't like this at all. No, I'm not about to be like, oh, Malik needs to be off the team. I'm not going to go that far, but I think it's very fair for me to say I don't like the fact that our current players are still in communication with the head coach of our division rival. There's just something about that just doesn't sit on my spirit the right way. And no, I'm not going to sit here and accuse any of the players of giving away any secrets or anything like that. I'm not going to take it that far. It's honestly just the optics of it. It's the optics of it and the possibility that we have no clue what they're talking about. If you actually look up the NFL tampering rule, this is from NFLcommunications.com, and this officially says, I'm going to actually make this a little bit bigger. This officially says the tampering, no club nor any person employed by or otherwise affiliated with a club is permitted to tamper with a player who is under contract to or whose exclusive negotiating rights are held by another club. Here's the thing. What is tampering? What is considered tampering? Is tampering only qualified if the coach is trying to get the player to sign there? What if the coach just says, oh, I'd love to have you in Washington next season. Oh, I'd love to have you here. Oh, man, I miss you on my defense, man. You played a huge role in my defense. What if the coach is saying stuff like that? Does that count as trying to recruit someone? Could that count as tampering as it pertains to someone on one team or one club trying to communicate with another player about the status of their contract, even though he isn't directly talking about that contract? If a head coach from another team who has hiring power, who has the ability to get guys a job, if a head coach from one team is talking to another player, talking about how well he would fit in, how he misses him, or any of that kind of stuff, anything pertaining to football, would that count as tampering? I think it should count as tampering, because that shouldn't be happening, bro. That's just why are our players so we're gonna have to get rid of all of our Dan Quinn guys. We're gonna have to get rid of all the DQ guys. Michael Parsons has got to suck it up. He's got to be the last one standing. We're gonna have to get rid of everybody that played under Dan Quinn, because what the hell is going on here, bro? What is going on here, all right? Okay, any public or private statement of interest, qualified or unqualified, in another club's player to that player's agent or representative or to a member of the news media is a violation of this anti-tampering policy. Interesting. Example of a prohibited comment. He's an excellent player, and we'd very much like to have him if he were available. But, bro, you can't tell me if Dan Quinn is still talking to our players right now. You can't tell me he has not texted them something similar to what this says right here throughout their text messages. There's nothing you can say to me to convince me that Dan Quinn has not made a single statement about how a guy is a great player and you're a great player and I wish I could have you in Washington. I wish I could bring you to Washington with me, but I guess we can't, right? There's no way he hasn't done that, bro. If he's sitting there talking to all the NFL, league office, investigate this man now. Oh my God, bro. Malik Hooker, bro. Come on, dog. Come on. What's up with our DBs? What's up with our DBs, bro? What's up with our DBs? Okay. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Am I tripping? Am I blowing this out of proportion? Or do y'all feel where I'm coming from, bro? That doesn't sit right with me. He's the head coach of another team. And I know for a fact he wants to stick it to us. Oh no, we still the same old Cowboys. Somebody send this video to the league office. There gotta be some kind of tampering involved. What in the hell?
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still the ball? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.